Yeah, everybody, my name is Lowell and welcome to the channel. So we have a sponsored song. Thank you very much, Wait 66, for this one. So let's do Blackstone Cherry with My Last Breath. Let's jump in and have a look at this one, shall we?
If all I had left was my last breath, I would hug my mother, tell her that I love her, and thank her for helping me through some very dark times in my life.
I'd spend my last breath on my wife and kids. Love and live large. Don't waste it. Time and life are too short. Hold on close to those you love and let them know it every day you can.
Dad, I'm coming home.
My last breath will be spent on my son, Carter, who is 14 years old.
Breath telling my kids that they can do whatever they want.
Telling my kids to remember what their father
I would also tell my fiance
For a long ride to my wife.
Dream your life. Live your dream.
I tell you that you're the reason I live, love.
I would thank Jesus for saving me for others and then smile knowing that I would get to see his precious life.
Overdoing great.
I was 15 years old. I found somebody new. And how could I have known that one day she would give me you? Hell and high water, she stuck right by my side. And that kind of love is all I hope that you can find. If all I had left was my last breath, here's what I'd spend it on. I tell you, you were my world, and she was my girl. If all I had left was my last breath. So bad, but I can see him when I look at you. You got that same smile that can light up a room, and I
sing. If all I had left was one last breath, I would tell my girls how much I love them and to love this wonderful life.
Oh.
If all I had left was my last breath, I'd spend it praying for my family.
Say thank you, Lord, for an incredible life, an amazing family, and a loving wife. Don't be sad for me, because where I'm going is paradise. Jesus, if you're ready for me, then I'm ready for you.
If all I had left was my last breath, here's what I'd spend it on. I tell you, you were my world and she was my girl.
Oh, man. What a great song. You know, let's start with the music, obviously. Fantastic vocals. He's got a great voice. Very tight band. Very catchy song as well, too. So, but then it's got this element of sometimes you kind of dip in and out of the music. You kind of forget that you're listening to the song because they pose this very, very deep question. You can kind of blow it off and, you know, whatever else. And, but it's funny, you know, there was no, oh, I want to, you know, watch this TV show. Or I want to have this food. Or I want to drink this drink. It's all about family, you know, telling the ones that you love how much you love them, you know, spending time with family, telling children, telling parents. I think that's very telling when it comes down to it. What is really important to us as people, as humans, is that it's those family members, those ones that we love, that connection that we have with family. That is such a good song. Such an easy question, but it makes you think. It makes you think. It's one of those ones that there's a million things you could say to it. It'll change every day, every hour. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a real good question. If you've ever lost anybody as well, you kind of wonder what they were thinking as well. What were they wanting to do with their last breath? Interesting. That was a really good one. That was really good. Man, that was emotional. I could feel myself kind of forming these answers as I was going along, you know, cherry picking things from what other people were saying and thinking, oh, that's a good, that's a good point, you know. But yeah, very, very interesting question. Very interesting answers that they had as well too. So, but that was very good. That was very good. Wake66, thank you very much for sponsoring this video. Remember, if you want to sponsor your own, all the information is in the description. Links and everything is in there, guys. Thank you very much for joining us today. Make sure you stay safe, and I will definitely see you in the next reaction video. Did you enjoy that video? Why not watch another one?